Pull out the green carpet because the well is no longer dry. Packers take care of business on the road and beat the LA Rams 24-19. Someone threw this microphone past me a cigarette and a paper towel. Jordan Love proves the haters wrong after being the underdog in a fight against a more experienced quarterback in Matthew Stafford. He pulls the Packers out the swamp water and delivers the package for a win. With 2 sacks, he had 2 touchdown passes to Tucker Craft and bounced back in the second half. But 15 for 26 and 224 yards, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception isn't bad to me, especially when you look at Matthew Stafford, who was 29 for 45 yards with 260 yards and 1 touchdown and 1 interception, who also had a pick six just like Jordan Love. It was a pick six buffet. And we got to give credit to Josh Jacobs early in the first quarter, putting up 73 yards and 1 rushing touchdown, putting the game on his shoulders. This was his first touchdown as a Packer. So this was long overdue. So everybody played their part, even Jada Reed, who had 78 yards, but Tucker Craft had 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. This was one of his breakout games. He's been missing, in action this season since it started. But the Packers went to Santa Monica and put their foot on the table and said, we're not going to roll over just because you're a more experienced quarterback. And I was a little shocked and, afraid a little bit about Kyren Williams, their running back. He was carrying the team with, guys like Puka Nuka and Cooper Kupp out. But, if I'm Sean McVay, hey, I got to try everything I can. And that's what he was doing. They stayed in the fight long enough, but typical Matthew Stafford, blowing games. That's what happened a lot in those years against Detroit versus the Packers. When it came down to the wire, and he would have a chance to get in the playoffs in those games that matter. Ask Matthew Stafford if he would have liked to win a NFC and go into the NFC Championship against Aaron Rodgers. Ask him because he hasn't. He went to the LA Rams. Fortune was there for them. They won with that organization and Cooper Kupp, and Sean McVay coming in like a year or two earlier after the Jared Goff thing didn't work. But, I still got to give it up to the LA Rams. They had us through the wire. They had to score on us up in the, first quarter. It was 7-7 and they scored again. But, just the trades of the game. Jordan Love, he was a little rusty in the first quarter, but he got back in his mojo sauce and, with the 2 touchdown passes to Tucker Craft and, of course, Josh Jacobs played a part in getting his own rushing touchdown. It was a, nice game. It was a little ugly and smugly in the first half, but, Jordan Love typically comes back and cleans it up in a second. Classic Jordan Love, and I'm really confident in the Packers moving forward. It's just a little, hiccups on the road that we had to clean up on. But other than that, man, great game for these guys. Great game. The defense, got to give it up to them. Shutting down the LA Rams, preventing them from scoring again because it would have been one scoring game after that. And the LA Rams probably could have possibly won that. If Matthew Stafford had his head on his shoulders right and was able to deliver the package in the last couple of, 1 minute left on the clock. What can you do,